This is Gifty Etc. at giftyetc.blogspot.com. Today, I'd like to talk to you about planning your summer vacation in your planner. In particular, I'm planning to go on a Carnival cruise. So I'm using my Franklin Covey Compact Boston in blue. It's a leather planner. It's very smooth and nice to plan my cruise. Now, whether you're planning a summer vacation, just planning a major project, or planning a cruise in particular, you'll find a lot of helpful hints in this video. Right here, if you're familiar with my planner, this is just sort of a decorative cover. I have my dashboard, and I will zoom in just a little more so you can see my dashboard. In my dashboard, I keep just little notes about what's going on in my life. So here, some wine suggestions for my cruise. I'm open to suggestions for great wines that are under $20 that I can bring on the cruise. A note about my kids' allowance. Anything that I think of and don't have time to deal with just goes here. And then I'll process that later. Now, those of you who are fans of my YouTube channel know that one of the main portions of my blog is my projects planner. I had a project called Vacation, and you'll see right here my index. I listed Vacation, and then under the V's, and you can see the tab that says Vacation. This tab, I'm going to open to it right here, refers to my cruise at this point. I changed it after I got used to the name Vacation, which is why I've kept it under that name, because I finally decided on what vacation I was going to go on. Here's a little bookmark. It says gratitude on this side. And then on this side, let me see if I can move this so you can see it. It says blessings. And that was really important to me because for my purposes, a cruise was definitely a blessing. Now, please excuse all the washi tape. I use that so that you wouldn't see the date of the cruise and just for some personal security. But I do want to point out, I left one fake example up here where I put, I need to book shore excursions by May 1st. I always use a box in a different color to highlight things I need to be very aware of. So there's a deadline I need to be aware of. It's not a hard and fast deadline. There'll still be shore excursions available when I get on the cruise ship. But if I want the best ones, and if I want the ones that I really list as my top ones, I need to book them in a timely manner. You'll notice this is called pre-cruise tasks. This is any task that I have to do that deals with the cruise before the cruise actually happens. But that is not specific to a particular date. So if I have to go and pick up copies of my birth certificate, and if you're going on a cruise, staying from U.S. port to U.S. port, you need a birth certificate with a raised seal. And if I want to do that, I need to actually put that in my weekly task list. And you'll see, I have sort of a weekly task list right here that says, I don't know if you can see it right here, but says to get my birth certificate stuff together. And so that is something that I do need to do. But I do have on this pre-cruise task list some other things that are interesting to anyone who will be cruising, and that is to pre-call your credit card and bank, let them know you're going to be out of the country. Empty your memory card in your planner. Teach the middle names to your kids, because at customs they will ask the kids for their entire name, and my 5-year-old sometimes forgets that his name is not just Loki, which is his nickname. Contact your cell carrier. Say you'll be out of the country so they don't just cancel you. Make a list of the bags that you plan to check so that you can make sure you receive all your bags right as you get in. I'm making a packet with the info for each port. I'm printing my tags for my luggage, and you can sort of fake laminate those using just clear packing tape. And once you've laminated them, use the clear packing tape to tape them together, and they'll stay on your luggage a lot better. I need to have a little note for my boys to put on their lanyards that includes their card saying they can be on the cruise with the date with the room number and the names of their parents, because my 5-year-old especially, should he be lost, I want them to get him back to me immediately. Obviously, I expect to have him with me or in childcare at all times. Have my sister check my mail, make a sign for my door in the cruise so that when we're walking to our cabin, we immediately see that's our place to be. Prepay bills while I'm out of town. This one's really important. I don't even know if you can see that one, but prepay bills and inventory. I'll tell you about inventory in just a minute. Now, I'm also starting a list for things I need to do on the cruise, such as check my list of checked bags, set my watch to ship time, just little tasks that need to be done that will make my life easier, but that I maybe wouldn't have thought of. So these two things stay in my project section. The other thing I have is my packing list. And you can see it says cruise packing. And I'm sort of dividing it into two categories. So I have my room bag, which is just going to go into the room, but that doesn't include clothes that I'm checking. So this is sort of my checked bag, but not of clothes. And my carry-on, and each of us is just going to have a little backpack as a carry-on in addition to one rolling bag. And the reason we're having the rolling bag is because wine and colas need to be brought in on that rolling bag. And Carnival does allow some amount of wine, basically a bottle of wine for each adult, and 4 12-packs of cola for the 4 people traveling. So a 12-pack per person to be brought onto the cruise. And so we'll have a little rolling bag in case we're not checked into our room, and we can bring that stuff onto the cruise. Also, my carry-on, I'm going to bring 1/4 of my cash, mostly in ones for tipping. Lanyards for me and the boys and my husband to keep our sign and sale card in. Our camera. I'm going to make a special folder for our birth certificates, social security cards, confirmation of our cruise, and I'm probably just going to use a little plastic folder. Now, for my planner people, I know this is going to come as a shock, but I plan to just leave my planner in the car. So anything important that I need to bring with me will be in this folder. I did bring my planner last year when I went to Disney World, but I won't be doing that this year. IDs, of course, we'll have our IDs with us, but I just don't want to forget them, because if I did, we couldn't get on the cruise. Credit cards, except for one spare card that will go in my room bag. Books, Kindles, water bottles, parking money, and my medications. So those are the things that I'm going to take on my carry-on. Now, in my room bag, I want to show you there's a bunch of things on here that have a little dot next to them, like bringing 4 colors of highlighters. The reason for that is because I need to check that I have that much of my inventory. I generally only use Frixion pens or yellow highlighters. And so I want to make sure that I have enough highlighters for each member of the family to highlight our fun times, which is a list of cruise events that you get each night with where we're going to be and what we want to do in case the kids want to do something different than mom and dad with the Camp Carnival staff. I'd like to have that. Things like binoculars. I think I have some from our last trip, but I'd like to check and make sure. On this list, things that might be of interest to those who are cruising that you might not have thought about is bringing your own laundry detergent, bringing a hole punch for your lanyard. You can get your sign and sale card punched on the boat, but why wouldn't I bring a hole punch? Wine cork saves you a corking fee, and you don't want that on your carry-on, or it might not make it on. Post-it notes to leave notes to your room steward in case you need ice or just something special taken care of. A backup credit card. Should things get stolen, you want a credit card in your checked luggage that you can find. Clothespins to hang things in the room. Your own laundry bag. Flavor packets for your water. Disinfectant wipes. Febreze. Alarm clock. A glass for your wine. Some water bottles or some water thermoses. A Tide pen. Ziploc bags come in handy for wet stuff. Book lights. The room's going to be kind of dark, and what if one of you wants to stay up reading a door sign for our kids so they can find our room? Band-aids, glow sticks for at night. Those are just some ideas that I've found. Now, how did I find these ideas? Well, I found them, and I'll go to today's weekly list by going on forums. You can see right here, I have a list of just questions that have come up for the forums. And I go on the forums on the Carnival Cruise Line site, it's called Funville, and find out, like, how much is parking where we're cruising from? And that way I can bring enough money. What kind of signs will stick to the door? Do most people's kids wear the lanyards with their signing card on it? I've also asked questions about how the elevators work, all sorts of things. And so you can get great information from these forums. Now, let's go to a weekly page that I created for you. And it's not the real page, but a weekly page that I created for you for the cruise. And so I've blanked out a lot of the information, but you'll see the day before the cruise, I would shave. I'm not shaving my nails and feet. I'm just saying to do my nails on my hands and my feet. Charge cell phones, make sure my mom and dad have our information about our cruise. Have information about where we go, turn off the AC and off the lights the day of the cruise. These are not anytime tasks. These are tasks that don't just have to be done sometime before we go to the cruise, but must be done on a specific day. And so they will go in my normal weekly tasks. That's it. That's what I've done to plan for the cruise. I will have some more videos about how I pack and more about what my packing list looks like. But you can see that using the dashboard for quick notes, the project pages for all the real planning, the task list, the things to do once you're on the cruise, makes it easy to find it all together. And then keeping in your weekly task list in your main body of your planner things that are day specific so that you don't forget to do them is all really important. Hopefully this cruise will go well, even though I won't have my planner with me. This will be a new experiment, but it gets me away from the work and the drudgery of the day-to-day that I use my planner for. If you have any questions, comment below. This is Gifty Etc. from giftyetc.blogspot.com.